I love humanity, and I also despair over it. Sometimes I get sad and think that there's no hope for anyone, and other times I fall in love with the air in my lungs and see every small act of kindness people do. And sometimes my deepest fears surface, and I'm afraid that this time I will drown in them. And other times I remember that everyone experiences these feelings. As a young adult, I'm still working on my ideals and beliefs, and I'm working towards creating an authentic self. I chose to talk about this topic because the quest for happiness is so often written about, searched for, and sometimes missed. I've noticed an alarming number of young adults that have dealt with some form of depression in their short lives. You see, when a student is on the verge of an anxiety attack and would rather break their arms than attend lecture, there is something seriously wrong. Everyone has good days and bad days and everything in between, but in general, people want to be happy. The easiest and the hardest part of this is that nobody but ourselves can be the ultimate decider of our happiness. Circumstances, events, and other people can influence it, but it is how we respond to these things that matters. As much as I wish that there was a button I could simply hit for automatic joy all the time, there is not. Sometimes it takes a great deal of effort to remain positive, especially after something unfortunate has happened. It is especially important during these times to remain positive, even if you do not think it is possible at the time. My main point is, positive energy attracts positivity. As Einstein said, everything is energy, and that is all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. There can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics. Spiritually, how we deal with stress and difficult situations has an impact on our happiness as well. We can let circumstances define us, and for better or for worse. That is an individual choice. It is useless to worry about something that's already happened, and it is equally as useless to worry about something that has not come to pass. What is important is that once we decide there's something in our situation we do not like, we make efforts to change our lives for the better. The hardest thing that I've had to do for my own personal health and happiness was to remove myself from toxic relationships. For a long time, I've dealt with people who have revealed themselves to be manipulative individuals who took advantage of me and what I had to offer. I often stayed in these relationships because I felt a sense of loyalty towards these individuals because they'd been my friends and they'd been a significant part of my life, and losing them felt almost like losing a part of my past. As a result, I went through periods of depression and self-worth issues where I questioned why I apparently didn't deserve kindness or caring. For a while, it seemed like I only went from one bad relationship to the next, but I told myself to keep hoping. I had to keep hoping that I would find people who appreciated me for me, or else I would never find happiness. Because I continued to hold myself in high regard, I was able to form new and healthy relationships, and the people that I choose to surround myself with are thoughtful and considerate, and despite our differences, we have a balanced relationship. With the support of caring adults and my own readings, I work to my self-esteem. These acts helped me realize that my thoughts were negatively affected by my previous relationships. So I worked to quiet these voices and eventually substitute them with positive ones. I would much rather prefer to spend time around people who work to build each other up rather than people who fail to seek true connections. But ultimately, their behaviors say more about them than it does about me. Every individual has the responsibility to maintain healthy relationships that nurture each other. Once you have achieved happiness, others start to notice, and this happiness spreads like a disease, but a good kind. People would much rather spend time around happy people because that in turn lifts their own moods. For me, Witnessing random acts of kindness inspires me to be a good person and makes me want to make someone else's day. Personally, I am on my own search for happiness, and I've discovered that I'm in control of my emotions, and the people I choose to surround myself with are people who I can both lead and follow. I'm living my life day to day, hour by hour, as best I can, and making every effort to do well and be happy. And that is really all I can ask myself. The poem Desiderata closes with, "You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it's clear to you, surely the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be, and whatever your labors and aspirations, in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace with your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be careful. Strive to be happy." Thank you.